will hear the real deal of the real story, the face of what happens if there is no paid sick leave.
Thank you all for coming in this morning. I know you have busy schedules and wonderful speeches. I really appreciate you standing up on my behalf. And the other bus drivers are really thrilled that I get to come in here. And I really appreciate this opportunity to speak to you. As she's told you, I am a school bus driver, student, and single mom of a special needs child. My son's medications cost me approximately $300 a month. That's not included in my insurance policy. I cannot afford to lose even 1 hour of my pay. In the month of May, my son became ill with both a flu and a stomach virus. Due to one of his disabilities, the stomach virus can turn really bad for him. We're not exactly sure 100% what his issue is, but he does need medication just to have normal bowel movements. I was not able to stay home with my son. My employer told me that I couldn't even go to doctor's appointments unless it was after my work hours or on weekends. Unfortunately, illnesses and doctors don't work to my schedule. My son was home alone for hours at a time. I would sneak in between my school bus runs to take a quick peek, give him medication, run out, being late for schools. When my son was finally, thank God, well again enough to go to school, I ended up with his flu virus. My bus, I generally carry approximately 77 children per run, 6 runs at least a day minimum, not including field trips and sporting events, which I had to turn down that money in order to be home with my son in between the school opening and closing. So I lost that additional money that really could have helped me out. My son, I don't have a home phone. I can't afford one. A friend of mine works for Verizon, provides me with one of his own personal cell phones so that I have contact if I need an emergency. But my son was home alone. Should he have an emergency or his condition turned worse, he had no one to turn to. No. Mom should have been there with him. I should have been giving him his orange juice. I couldn't do that. But when he returned to school, I returned to work with his illness to 77 children times 6 times a day. In the last few weeks of school, more than half the children on all of my bus runs was homesick, more than likely due to me. I just thank God it was not the H1N1 virus, because I do have a lot of children with illnesses on my bus who carry inhalers and EpiPens. I infected an entire city. Waltham is 14 square miles. We have a high school. We have 2 middle schools. We have 6 elementary schools. And these children have older brothers and sisters in schools that I don't drive, so they bring it home and pass it on to them. A whole city of people affected by one bus driver. One. And if I had sick pay, my son would have been taken care of more properly. I would have been able to not infect all the children on my bus. Just thank God the virus we weren't passing around wasn't the H1N1 virus. You don't know how much I appreciate the ability to be here today and to speak to everyone about this. I would appreciate it even more if we could pass this, make this a reality so that I don't have to worry about infecting a whole city of children. I drive kids because I love them. I don't want to make them sick. And I want to be home for my son. I don't want sick pay. I need sick pay. I need it. On the way in here today, this wasn't even what I was going to say, but I was listening to the radio, and there was a 13-year-old boy in the city of Boston who died from the H1N1 virus. I hope his mother got to stay home in his last hours, be with him. Please have a moment of silence for the child and his family.